California. Super cool to the homeless.
One of my buddies just turned 25, and that's when they say your brain stopped developing.
I got one more year, baby. I got one more year.
One more year to not get stupid.
Public schools are getting a little crazy, so yeah, we might have to build our own.
The girl had puppies, so inbred puppies.
Everyone down south is like, what's wrong with that?
Before we jump into the podcast, I have one quick word from today's sponsor, Factor. You guys know that we absolutely love Factor over here. Factor meals are ready in just 2 minutes and aren't some microwave junk. They taste good. They're healthy. They have calorie conscious or protein boosted items. And if your lunch is on the go and you don't have access to a microwave, they've still got you guys covered. This August, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door. Head to factormeals.com/wideopen50 and use code wideopen50 to get 50% off. That's code wideopen50 at factormeals.com/wideopen50 to get 50% off. Thank you, Factor. Let's get into the podcast.
What was up with that little dog with the hat? That was pretty cute.
I don't know what was up with him. I think he was just there.
He disappeared. He was just in his own world.
That was
I'm
pretty
talking
cute,
about the
though.
little dog he was holding that was wearing a flat brim hat.
This dog?
That dog's cool, man. It's not really my taste in dogs, but the fact that she was wearing a flat brim hat, I was kind of like, all right,
that's
I
nice.
fuck
I
with
like
this
that.
Yeah,
dog.
it was a look. It was pretty cute, though. There was two little French bulldogs running around, and one was brown, and he looked like a chicken nugget. And I go, look at this little chicken nugget. And right when I said that, he ran around the corner, and my buddy who I was standing there talking to looks at the ground and goes, what chicken nugget?
Like, imagine there was actually a chicken nugget. He's like, fuck, what was someone doing with a chicken nugget on the ground?
This one other dude was tripping about those dogs. Could not shut up about like how French bulldogs are expensive. He's, oh, look at this. $5,000 in dogs right there. $5,000. I probably what $2,500 a piece. And he's looking at this guy's got $5,000 worth of dogs. I'm like, why are you talking about it like that?
Yeah.
It is strange.
He like picks up $2,500. You know, Scott, our buddy Scott, he has those two boxers.
Yeah.
Their brother and sister. He just got them last year. Now they've got to be 1 year old. They had babies together.
What?
Inbred dogs. Kind of weird.
What?
Yeah. He didn't purposely do it, obviously, but
Wait, they were just
he
slamming?
must not have been watching, and they were doing the dirty, and the girl had puppies, so inbred puppies.
Are they cute?
I haven't seen them yet, but I mean, obviously he was like, fuck, like this isn't good. He goes over, he brought it to the vet, and I guess it's more common than you'd think. And he said like, they'll be fine. But so apparently they look cute, and like there's nothing wrong with them, at least that you can tell from looking at them. They might be a little stupid, but we'll have to just wait and find out. But we got to go over there and check those dogs out. It'd be kind of cute.
Everyone down south is like, what's wrong with that?
No, from what I hear though, that like the first time it happens, it is for the most part all right. The second time it happens, it ain't all right.
I think
it
that's
gets
what
worse and
the
worse.
veterinarian said.
Well, Scott couldn't take care of 2 dogs and keep them from smashing.
Now he's got 9.
He's got 9.
My God. Yeah, what is he going to do with that?
I'm sure he's going to sell them,
Probably
right?
sell them.
You got to tell people, though. You got to say these are inbred.
Really?
Like I really wouldn't want to buy an inbred dog.
No. They're not inbred. They're purebred.
I guess it depends how you look at it.
No, I don't. No, Scott's not going to be selling them. He's going to be paying people to take them.
I don't think so. I think he'll be
I'm
selling
sure you
them.
can sell them.
Did that guy that was all hyped up on how expensive the other dogs are, he just go, look at this. $15,000 in puppies right here. Look at this.
Just all it looks at dogs money.
$2,500 for the
Starts
run.
counting them. It's like, all right, $2,000, 4, 5. He's like adding up.
Finds out that the dog came from the shelter, and he's just like, what's it, worthless pretty much? I'm not even
So
gonna
this
talk
was
to
what?
him.
You just paid the adoption fee? This is a $150 dog. $150 dog right here.
My buddy, he went to the store and bought a real dog, one that was real expensive, not a knockoff.
That's really funny. But I feel like all dogs are expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously you can get normal dogs, but even like if you wanted a golden retriever, I think it would cost you like.
Yeah, it's funny how
dogs aren't cheap.
certain dogs are like a status flex now.
They are.
What's another status flex animal?
A tiger.
I'd say a zebra.
A tiger probably is the peak.
I'd say, if
A
you
monkey,
have a tiger.
that's a big flex
No, so I don't think you can get a monkey.
anymore.
Well, so for a while there, I was trying to get a monkey because I thought it'd be a really funny bit to put a monkey in Ken's office. And I'm only saying this because I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be, so I was looking.
Like it'd be like you'd have to take care of them for the.
So like
a while.
fully turning your office into a rainforest is what I envision. And then like getting a full blown monkey. So you like show up
Ken's
and you like walk into your office and it's like like a bunch of nature, and then you got a monkey there, and we're like, we bought you a monkey.
What do you do with it after the bit's done?
That's where
Well, that's where we would never tell you that it was a joke, so you would just think that this monkey was yours now. Because back in the day, back when you could do these things to you, Ken, and you'd have a genuine reaction.
you've been like, oh, fine.
I don't want to take care of this monkey, but the next shot is you driving your Tesla with the monkey in the front seat.
And you're just feeding it, and just like next thing you know, you're living life. You just always have them with you.
Wait, the monkey could drive the Tesla and Ken could sit in the passenger seat and scroll.
Gosh. Yeah, you just put
Okay, now we might be down for it. Well, so I was trying to find the monkey, and then I reached out to a couple people that had monkeys. And I don't really know if these people had monkeys that were like for rent, but I was like, okay, here's my idea. Can we use this? And they're like, that's inhumane or whatever. Like
I don't see how
like
that'd
people
be
with
inhumane.
monkeys
It's the
are like
fucking same
like,
thing. It's a different room.
well, they're like, I can't leave the monkey alone. Like it could be uncomfortable
Yeah,
without me in the area or without me in its presence or something like
put
that.
him in a ghillie suit and
Well, then, yeah, hide him,
Scares the shit out of
blend him into the wall. Yeah, but I mean, it would be a bad day if the monkey went rogue and like pulled Ken's scalp off.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
'cause
they
that's what
do
they
that.
can do.
Monkeys are crazy. Like, you don't want to mess
Yeah.
with them.
I've been thinking of other options, and I've got some other good ones. So maybe I did just show too many cards. But the nice part about Ken is he's 3 steps behind.
why is there an aardvark in my office?
You could get an anteater for all the ants in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Man, I was at the zoo the other day with my nieces, and
Such a good uncle.
crazy actually that literally down the road 10 minutes there's like a full-on zoo that has camels, zebras, monkeys,
In
bears.
Yeah.
There was
got bears?
black bears in there.
How'd you feel about that though? Because I always drive by in the winter, and I'm like, I just feel terrible for the animals because they're just out in the elements, and it's fucking freezing, and you got camel sitting there. It's like the camel is supposed to be in the desert, not in the frozen tundra of Minnesota in negative 30-degree weather.
Yeah,
Like,
I was wondering that.
how'd they look? Did they look sad and like kind of messed up, or?
Well, you ever gone to a zoo where an animal looks happy?
I mean, I'm wondering if these ones look worse than normal. Like I honestly, yeah, I don't know. I drive by and I sometimes wonder, how is that place still open?
I was most mind blown that this zoo is down the road and I didn't know
I
about
can't believe
it.
you've never seen that.
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's just like kind of just right there, and I'm always.
Where is it?
Okay, thank you,
I-
Mike.
yeah, I
So when
Right.
you're on the way to Spanky's
Yeah.
and you're going through the curves, it's right on the left. You'll just see it. There's like little like cages in like the open.
It's a
Yeah, I didn't know it
dude,
existed.
it's basically a farm, but they have
Yeah.
like quite a few like I don't know if you'd say exotic, but I mean they were definitely exotic to Minnesota animals there. And I was wondering the same thing. I was like, what do they do with these guys in the winter?
They're outside, bro.
Camels?
Yeah.
Camels are.
I'm pretty sure
what's
they're
like
outside.
What's like a typical environment like?
Fucking probably 120
Like
degrees.
Egypt, Saudi, like the
Well,
Middle
yeah,
East.
yeah, I get that. But like, is there any camels in the Arctic?
Not
I don't
naturally.
think so. Arctic camels.
I don't know. I need to go over there and check it out.
Oh
one
no,
of these
they're
days, 'cause-
fine from 120 to minus 20.
Oh,
Really?
okay,
Okay.
cool.
So-
Then the desert does get
Very
really
resilient
cold.
animal.
The desert
Then you
does
just
get really
winterize
cold
it.
at night, but I don't know.
Interesting.
It's tough for me to look at. I guess I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I was walking around, so like you could get like a little pail of food, and then you
Mhm.
walk around, and then you can get some carrots, and you feed the camels the carrots, and then you feed the like the goats the pale food, and yeah, my nieces were just like putting it in their hands and
hand?
just like shoving it up into these animals like faces, and I was like,
You're gonna
I was
lose
getting
a hand.
protected. I was like, whoa, 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 and my brother and his wife were like, it's fine. Apparently, when you have kids, you go to zoos a lot. So this is just another day for them. But I was like the hover uncle. I was like, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah.
Keeping them all in line and stuff.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
was-
get what you're saying. Like feeding a horse, I'm like, they're always like open palm, because you know if there's little yappers get a hold of your skin.
Whenever I'm around a little kid, I feel like I'm very like protective of it. Like I'm worried it's gonna fall over, like or just something like it could hit something, like knock its head, anything. There's so many things, but parents are always so laid back about it. But it's weird because like I hang around you guys who do pretty dangerous stuff on the daily. Like I'm exposed to dangerous stuff on the daily, but then I go over to Alex's parents and her sister's there with their little kids, and it's like I'm like, whoa, watch the table. What, I'm like, so
Well,
it
I
is
feel
interesting.
like they probably were that way, and then now the kid is 5, and they've had 5 years of trying to protect him. He's like, it's just gonna do its thing. Kids are rubber, dude. They fall all the time.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's what they
for
keep
sure.
saying. Yeah, I actually haven't held my nephew yet, and he's I think 4 months.
It
or
is a
something
little
like that. But
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I'm
You're
just
just
like,
like,
I don't
mean,
provide any value by
don't-
holding
yes.
this baby to him, and it's a little uncomfortable for me
I
because
gonna
I don't
do?
want
I'm
to.
worried.
Well, what
Business?
happens if I
Yeah.
fucking trip? What happens
Yeah.
if I trip? What happens if I get lightheaded and I pass out?
Yeah, you never know. You had too many beers, something like that. I'm the same way. I got to get like situated in like a sturdy chair, maybe some cushions around it. I'm like, all right, I think I'm ready for it. Like, like,
Not even planning on standing up.
no,
Yeah, I think
I'll sit there, and then when it's time, you take them.
That's so funny. I was just like, I don't know why I was just so stoked about this the other day, but drunk proof in the shop, kind of baby proof in the shop, but the sauna has like the sharpest tin metal roof on it.
Yeah.
So sharp. I mean, like sharp as a knife. So if you fell into that, someone's getting larried up and they caught their arm or their head on that, it would like tear
slice
your
ya.
skin completely off.
Yeah.
So I grabbed your trim from your fender flares and put it on there.
Really?
Nice.
So now
Yeah,
if
it
you
looks
run
nice.
into
It's
it,
Pretty
yeah.
smart.
It looks nice
And it's
too.
just like now if you ran into it, you'd be totally fine. But before, it would be bad.
What about my fender flares?
Well, they're
Well,
fine.
you sold the dang car.
Imagine.
You
took
took
it
it
out
off
of
of
the
it.
car.
Yeah.
Drunk proofing the shop.
I feel like
one time I was pretty larried up and I was sitting in the shop. I was looking at the walls and I was just like, man, what if there was like an electrical fire right now and it started the inside of the walls on fire? All like the insulation.
You sure you were just on the beer?
And
If that happens, you just gotta walk out.
well, then I go. Hold on now.
Burn to the ground.
If the inside of the walls start on fire and tin is on the outside, I feel like we need to have some impact drills to take all the screws out of the tin so you can quick put it out. So I walked around, I put some impact drills like around the shop. And the
How
next
long
day
did that last? Yeah,
the
we're
next
like-
day I came over, I was like, what's up with all these impact drills laid around the shop? Yeah, but it is a valid point.
I hate to also kill your thought process, but all the electrical in this building is on the outside of the walls.
That's good.
I feel a lot better.
Thank goodness, dude. You can sleep at night.
Just burn around the shop.
So speaking of getting a little larried up, so yesterday my grandpa was in town, so he called me
Oh man.
and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing. I'm just pulling up to the shop." And he's like, "Sweet, I'm here." I was like, "Perfect. Let's hang out." So we go and get lunch, and I was like, "Well, what's your plan for the rest of the day?" He was like, "Nothing. I'm just hanging out." It was my sister's bridal shower, so my grandma was all jammed up with that. So he was just along for the ride. So I brought him out to Ryan's place, and we took him out on the pontoon with us. Dude put down some drinks.
He was on the Modelos.
He was on the Modelos, dude.
The
and
Rolling Rocks.
next thing I know, he's got all of our girlfriends up on the top of our buddy Mark's pontoon. It's a double decker, and he's got all of our girlfriends up there, and they're all dancing. And he's like,
swing dancing.
he's like, what was he playing? Janet. He had some.
That's why the music switched up.
Yeah, he
It's
had some
upstairs, you don't
artist that
really
was
know.
like, once we get this artist going, like everyone's gonna be dancing, and it was
Really?
true. Yeah. He was up there swing dancing with them, and they loved it, and he loved it.
I bet.
And he was, so we bring him home, bring him back to grandma because my grandma's calling. And she was like, "Where's Grandpa Ron?"
I was sitting upstairs and I watched Sam get a call, and Sam eventually had gotten forced a beer.
my brother.
It was
Yep.
your brother was sent to come and pick up Ron, and they're sitting up on the top deck. Ron's about halfway through this beer, and he's already got a fresh one in this hand. And then Sam's got his own beer, and Grandma calls, and I can kind of hear him, like, "When will you be home?" Stuff like that. And he goes, he looks at the beer and turns it, and he goes, "I don't think we'll be home for a while."
Yeah.
They go, "Well, just make sure Grandpa's behaving himself, and you guys are taking care of him and watching after him." And we're like, "Yeah, of course." Well, next thing we know, he's got all the girls up there dancing, shotgunning beers.
That means he's having.
Yeah, he had a great time.
Got an
he
eye
was.
on him.
Yeah. No, he was loving it.
He's behaving normal.
Yeah, so how'd it go when he got home?
I was curious how he was going to get home. I wasn't there, but like my mom was like, "Yeah, Grandpa was over at, on the boat with all them, and Grandma doesn't really drive much." And so the whole point of him driving her to the baby shower was so he could drive her there and drive her home.
Yeah.
And then he went and got all drunk. So I
Yeah.
was like, I was almost wondering if I was gonna have to drive him home, but I memean, it never happened. So
Yeah, no,
apparently he got him home.
Sam brought him home.
Oh, Sam did perfect.
Yeah, so he was like, we're having a time, and he's like, hey, don't be telling Grandma about this when he's up there dancing and everything. First thing he does when we get home, Grandma, you won't believe this. Starts showing her videos of dancing with all the girls, and Grandma's just rolling her eyes.
I was gonna say that's good because otherwise we would have just
Done him dirty.
done him real dirty.
My favorite little Easter egg from yesterday was Grandpa Ron. So we're cruising around. It's very busy on the lake, so you can't just pee off the side. He's in slacks. He's in full-blown pleated slacks. So he's peeing into a bottle at the back, like where no one could see him. But I was still surprised.
What, into a
I
bottle?
was still surprised. Yeah.
Well, we were at the sandbar.
Yeah, a lot of people around, so he's just right in the corner peeing into a bottle. And, after he gets done, obviously dumps it in the lake. This is interesting, but just whatever.
It's a strange concept, but yeah, it makes sense.
He turns around, so keep in mind that he got rid of the pee, but he turns around, runs into a buddy trying to sneak past him, drops the can. Some stuff makes it onto the floor, and he's just like picks it up, like looks around. just me and Sid were the only ones who saw him, and I'm like, Grandpa, you just dropped your pee bottle.
Think of your favorite entrepreneur. They wouldn't be anywhere without their trusted partners. If your e-commerce platform is staring away potential customers instead of converting them into lifelong fans, you have to try Shopify. Shopify is the e-commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're a garage entrepreneur or IPO ready, Shopify is the only tool you guys need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. And once you've reached your audience, Shopify is the internet's best converting checkout to help you turn them from browsers to buyers. And if you want marketing made simple, Shopify removes the guesswork with built-in tools that help you create, execute, and analyze your online marketing campaigns. Shopify is key for us running our merchandise store. It looks good. It works good. We can edit it and see analytics right from our phones. It's one of the most important tools that we use every single day. So sign up today for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wideopen, which is all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wideopen to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/wideopen. With the busy fall season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. I have been absolutely slacking eating healthy lately. I've been eating out for every meal. I'm off my workout routine, and I've been drinking unhealthy drinks to top it all off. So this fall, I'm looking to Factor to help me get back on track with fast, chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to my door. Factor isn't cheap, gross meals, though. Treat yourself to upscale meals with premium ingredients like broccolini, leeks, truffle butter, and asparagus, and keep your energy up during the day with Lunch to Go, which is effortless, wholesome meals like grain bowls, salad toppers that are ready to eat when you're on the go. No microwave required. This August, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose the meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door, ready in 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/wideopen50 and use code wideopen50 to get 50% off. That's code wideopen50 at factormeals.com/wideopen50 to get 50% off. Thanks, Factor.
I think, when you get older like that, the dude, granted, he put down
that's the
so
thing.
many beers, but the dude went piss at
15
least 10,
times.
15 times.
Man,
But,
Grandpa
yeah,
Ron is a riot, though.
Yeah,
Everybody
he was the
loves
life
him.
of the party.
Yeah, he's the life of the party. He's got his finger on the pulse. You got to give him credit.
Yeah,
He's the life of the
fun.
party.
Dialed 81.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that we can have like my grandpa, CJ's grandpa, he's 81, like we said. And I don't even think twice about bringing him along on anything that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because, both Mike and I, my grandparents are in they're like 90-something, but they're both in the nursing home,
Yeah, that's what I was
it's
thinking.
different.
My grandpa's 85, and it looks like Grandpa Ron's 70 compared to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty in tune and dialed. Like, I was talking with my parents about that last night. I was like, it's amazing how, they can just get around and do pretty much anything at their age still.
Maybe you guys are right. Maybe I should start taking care of myself. Seems like it might pay off later.
Yeah, I think about that quite a bit, especially lately. Man, I've been so sore from our recent endeavors. And I'm like, man, this is really starting to add up.
I think as we get older, we'll maybe get more and more serious with taking care of ourselves. As you age, gradually you will take it more and
Get
more
smarter.
serious. And then eventually, who knows, maybe we'll be like this forever, but 40, 50, you're like, I don't need to go on benders and do certain things like that, and then you'll be
40
doing
or
more
50.
things. And then I don't know. I think we could have the possibility of living till like over 100 with technology and like the knowledge of everything nowadays. Like healthcare is just way more advanced than it has obviously been in the past.
I do agree. I mean, think about how rapidly technology is advancing.
Yeah,
Like,
and the
even
more
in the
they
last
know about the
15
body
years,
and
yeah.
everything.
Dude, I tell you what, though, I have been jammed up this week.
Ryan fell down.
Yeah, I fell down. I was getting off the boat, and I'd had like 2 Tonys, and the dock was kind of moving, and the boat was going up, and I just completely miscalculated the distance from the boat to the dock and just fell right between the dock and the boat
my
and
God.
smoked my hip so freaking hard, dude. I think I fell the perfect way because I could have fell, hit my face, cut up my arms on the dock or something like that. And basically all I got was a little bruise on my hip. But, dude, so bad. And then, like, I'm a side sleeper. So I was trying to sleep on my side, but it hurt. So in my sleep, I rolled over. So my hips were flat, but my neck was sideways. Woke up, couldn't even move my neck. I was like, I'm falling apart, dude.
All jammed up.
So you guys might live to be 100. I'll be freaking
What happened to Ryan?
hobbling.
Oh, yeah, he's a side sleeper, but he slept with his neck the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm at the point where if I sleep wrong, I can't even move. You guys want to live forever?
Well, I mean,
Depends
yeah.
at what can I stay at like my relative ability and health and all that. Then yes,
Let's
that'd
say
be great.
you like bottom out at Grandpa Ron.
But like, I mean, yeah, I guess Grandpa Ron gets around just fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that then. But yeah, I mean, if you're like living forever and then you're getting all old and you can't do anything, then it's like there's no point. But
That's true. I definitely
I mean-
agree. You wouldn't want to be sitting around like waiting.
if you're in good health, yes.
Yeah, do you think there's a perfect age?
I feel like
guess
you
it's
live
hard
your
to
life
say
in
until you live all of
sections.
it.
I
but-
think like at 30,
25. Yeah.
I think at 30 they say you're done building like a certain amount of like muscle and skill, and your brain is like I'm pretty sure.
think-
I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that multiple times.
One of my buddies just turned 25, and that's when they say your brain stopped developing. And so someone said that. He goes, shit, this is as good as it gets. But I mean,
I got one more year, baby. I got one more year.
One more year to not get stupid.
Yeah.
Now, you got a long ways to go, Ben, if you want to catch up.
But it,
I got, fuck.
that seems like a good movie preface. It seems like kind of something you would regret. So it's like if they offer you get to live forever, let's say at 25 or 30, you get to live forever, and you're like, sick, I want to do that. But you're like, you can't take it back. The only way that you get to die is if the entire world ends, which who knows, could happen. But like, you don't get to take it back. You have to live forever. After, let's say, I don't know, picturing if this is a movie plot, 300 years, you're like, damn.
Yeah,
Like a vampire.
I want to go back to the
like a
old way.
vampire. I got to figure out a way to break this curse. Essentially, it would feel like a curse after long enough.
Then you're responsible for the end of the world.
yeah. I
Wow,
think
that'd
it'd
be a
good
great movie.
Wow.
That'd be a great movie.
And then you try to end the world, and then there's a second character that's trying to stop you.
Yeah, and they're like, we can live together. Like, I also am living forever.
Wait, there's a writer's strike
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
We can't give
Weird
this out.
plot. That'd be a weird plot because like you'd be starting with almost the antagonist of the film,
Yeah.
and then
Oh my god, you guys, that's a great
Man,
it really is.
that's a great movie.
And then it switches over, and like the viewer was with the antagonist, and now all of a sudden they're against him.
They have the same, they're same age, same situation, but they're living two completely different ways. One's trying to end it, but one's trying to like live that way forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like battling against each other.
Well, I think the one that's
Black Mirror-y.
yeah, the one that's trying to live forever also went through the
Yeah,
whole
I was
like,
gonna
I
say.
hate this, I don't want to live forever, but then they got past it and they're like, I understand that I have to keep peace. I
Originally,
couldn't.
when I
don't-
thought of this idea, or we started thinking of it, I was picturing it more of like a Freaky Friday, like type of vibe, kind of cute and quirky and has like a nice happy ending. And now we went straight to like Marvel Black Mirror.
Yeah, I almost picture like the very end of that movie just being like the whole universe from like space view, and you just see like, and it
Ooh.
just goes like black.
And then you sit, it's one of those movies you sit and watch and just stare at the credits after it ends because you're trying to process it.
So yeah, mind blowing.
Yeah, I've actually been meaning to watch a good movie in theaters lately. I do kind of want to go to Oppenheimer.
Yeah, same.
Might even go to Barbie.
Yeah, I want to see both
Yeah,
those.
I'd see both.
But it's crazy how
Like,
like
guys, double movie date?
Look, a little matinee action after
Yeah.
this.
movie theaters are almost, well, I shouldn't say like coming back in style,
I think
but
they're coming back.
they are at least for like this last week with like the Barbie Oppenheimer thing. It was like such a social movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when there's such a wave, you know, it's crazy how the masses are just like, oh yeah, movie theaters are cool again. Like movie theaters are back in.
Well, they
and
got
like, it was
people-
like record-breaking box numbers.
They got people talking again. That's the thing, you know? I think that is the biggest thing.
Sometimes I just saw an ad for a movie though, and it looks like one that I kind of like want to see, but not really. And it's like only in theaters, and I did kind of go, "Oh, wish it was this on Hulu."
They
Like,
always
I could
say
just
that
watch
though.
it.
No,
And
and then
eventually
somebody
it'll hit
picks it up. A
in a
streamer
couple
picks it,
years,
like
yeah.
Bert Chrysler's. Birch.
Oh, I need to see that too.
Yeah,
The Machine.
Chrysler.
Birch Chrysler. I
Bro,
fucked that up.
yeah.
But his movie, The Machine, was like only in theaters. That's why I went on like that whole podcast run.
Yep.
And I just got, I think it was Amazon Prime. It like
Nice.
popped
It's
up
there.
No way.
like The Machine was only in theaters. It literally
Did you
said-
watch it?
No, I haven't
I'm
yet.
very excited to watch.
now
that.
it's available for rent for $39.99.
Is it?
Not at-
Movies are kind of coming back.
Dude, YouTube has free movies that you can
Yeah.
watch with ads.
For some reason, YouTube's free movies just kind of hit.
They
They'll,
do.
You know, so it'll serve me Hot Rod. It's my favorite movie.
Classic.
Love that. It'll serve me just like some classics from like the early 2000s, and you watch them, and you watch a couple ads, just like a YouTube video. It's not bad.
Straight up, that's pretty damn smart of like whoever owns that movie, put it on YouTube and get
Just
served
run
the
up-
ads
yeah,
and
run
like,
up-
holy fuck, if it's a 2-hour long movie, you're gonna have so many ads in there probably. And
Did you just watch The Big Short?
I
on YouTube?
did.
Okay, I was
that's
wondering
that's
why
a
that
good
was
one.
getting recommended in our
Oh,
YouTube.
was it?
Well, I was like, what kind of bootleg Big Short movie is this? Because I didn't know that
They
was
do
a thing
movies.
now. But it was like 2.5 hour long movie.
Yeah.
And usually when you see that on YouTube, it's usually just bootlegged.
Dude, that movie is so freaking good. Except for, I don't know if we'll talk about it in more detail, but we just bought property. And the night before, I was watching The Big Short where the entire real estate market crashes. And I was a little bit cynical walking around. I was like, literally, I was like, it's real estate. You can never lose. And that's exactly what they said in the movie. Like the real estate ladies driving around. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, we're just in a little gully. You'll make your money back. This is a big time. You should be buying. You should be buying. And then everybody lost their houses and jobs.
Lost the farm.
Lost the farm.
it is interesting because there is kind of like this whole, at least it seems like everyone forgot about 2008, but like real estate, can't go wrong with real estate. Even if you overpay, it'll catch up eventually. Like, you know, like that
Yeah.
seems to be like literally what everyone
Everybody says.
tells me. Yeah.
And
Well,
for a
what
long
was
time, it
the-
has been true. And I think a lot of people that live it like rurally probably can also experience. I feel like, let's say Florida goes like this. They're doing 40% jumps either way. They lose a ton or make a ton. But if you have like farmland or you have lakes or you're from a smaller town, it might go up and then it might go down. When like the whole world crashes, you go down a little bit. And then,
It's insulated.
yeah, exactly. It's insulated.
I guess the thing that I try and look at, we are in such a different market where most people can't like justify looking at like a property that we just bought and making sense of it because it would just be like for leisure
Yeah, it'd be
or
dead space.
or dead space. Whereas us, we can like squeeze every little bit out of like every inch of the property of like, we could run that tree over with something. We could do donuts in this grass. We could drive a car through that old shed or
Yeah.
there's just like so many
I
different
agree.
things. And then, you know, hopefully those videos can just live on forever and
And I
pay the,
still have the property.
pay the
Yeah.
mortgage in 30 years off of that video.
I love that we're able to do that because normally with land, the only way to squeeze out of it for a normal
I
person
don't like
is
that motion y'all are doing over there, dude.
Like,
If there's a rag in there. It's a wet
there?
rag. But the only way to do that is to build and sell, split it up, build, sell, rent, whatever. But for us,
Or
you know,
farm.
or or farm. But it's like for us,
We could plant a little sweet corn patch. Evan
Sure.
can be over there
I feel like,
farming,
into it.
tilling.
and I feel like just either way, in like the most simplest way to look at it, not even thinking of all the other things that we're going to do, it's just a store of value. Like you put it there, it's gonna slowly grow up or go up, you know, and it's like you have that there, and in 30, 40 years, if you want it, you could sell it, you know, and it's just like things like that.
Yeah, I love cormorant too. Like I love like
too.
buying up as much as we
Same.
can around
Oh,
cormorant.
it's so fun.
And most people would be like, you know, you guys could like invest that money in like any other town or market, and it'd probably be a much better return. But I think for us, like it makes so much sense because like
We love it.
like this is where we're from. This is where our roots are. Like our business is here, and now we're just like buying up as much as we can around the area. And I hope one day like you're just driving down the road, CBoys, CBoys, CBoys,
Well,
CBoys.
so I was out to eat with my girlfriend and her dad. He likes talking us up whenever, and another older guy comes over and starts talking to him. You know, they're talking about whatever, and he goes, "Hey, you know CJ, my daughter's boyfriend, whatever. He's one of the CBoys." You know, and everybody goes, "You ever heard of those guys?" And I'm like, you know, you never know how they might not like us or they might like us, but I'm always just like, you don't need to mention that. But he brought that up, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know those guys. They're the ones that keep buying all the land I'm looking at getting it." You know, like but then he goes, "Yeah, so what do you do? What do you guys do for work?" I go, "Make YouTube videos." And then he didn't quite understand. He's like, "Yeah, but what do you do?" And I was like, I just said, I'm like an editor. Like I do video editing. He goes, "Oh, nice. Okay."
He's
The
like,
simple side of
what
it.
what do you need property to video edit? He's so confused. He went home even more confused.
Hey guys, quick break in the podcast for a word from today's sponsor, eBay Authenticity Guarantee. Whether you're searching for the latest sneaker drop, that iconic handbag, a timeless watch, or your next piece of classic jewelry, eBay authenticators are there verifying every single detail of your purchase. Yep, we're talking each inch, stitch, tick, facet, and clasp that make the piece you're searching for worthy of your collection. eBay's authenticators are experts in their craft, true connoisseurs, and as leaders in their fields, they're making sure your items always arrive as authentic as your style. So go ahead and get that piece you've always wanted and leave it up to the meticulous eyes of an eBay authenticator to make sure that watch movement is original, that glimmer is real gold, or that rare sneaker is legit, or that handbag is really made of genuine leather and never get faked over again. In a world full of fakes, it's time to get real with the eBay Authenticity Guarantee. Everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms.
Mike, you said something so funny the other day. You were like talking about how Cormorant could like expand
Well, I was
out to like
serious.
where we bought.
I got
and I just
laughed out.
picture like the Cormorant village like growing because it hasn't grown since existence. Like it has not grown at all. But we're just like
the village
we're gonna
itself
build
hasn't.
Cormorant.
The village itself hasn't, but I mean, again, talking about the land that we hopefully get to close on is about as close to Cormorant as anything's been available in a while, as far as a monumental amount. A lot of sheds around this area, but what are you gonna do?
This
But
is true.
It's growing, and I genuinely think it will grow because of us, not solely because of us, but
Well, I mean, if we have kids one day, they're gonna need to go to school somewhere. We build a school.
that would be insane.
It's 8 kids in the class.
Cool
Public schools are getting a little crazy, so yeah, I mean, we might have to build our own. We build our own school, so not even send your kids to private school. You build them to your own school.
Yeah, that's like some Elon Musk shit right there.
That's like some cult type shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
It's a
I
little
mean,
culty.
Sounds a little weird.
I think it would get.
What do you guys think you'd teach at if it was a school? Like, what would be taught there? Normal school things,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
would
yeah.
you be teaching like specialty?
Oh, you're saying
Oh,
that
and
we would be the
specialties.
teachers?
No, I'm just saying like if it's
Like
your
we-
school, you
Oh,
could
okay.
like kind of make the
the
curriculum, you know,
curriculum,
and
True.
like you could be like teaching about
For sure, rock climbing.
using money right, you know, enjoying life,
Right, yeah,
things
right.
that are actually important.
Yeah,
you know,
I would.
Washing
I mean,
your car.
Getting a loan.
I would love if they had a class. I'm sure some schools do, but yeah, a class where they teach taxes,
How to pay your taxes,
loans,
yeah, stuff like that.
loans, like
You
how to
don't get that in
you
college.
Do not. Well,
They don't tell you that.
and they don't tell you that in high school either. It's just,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even need to be that deep.
Doesn't it make sense to just have like a class that's just called like life
basics
lessons
of
101?
life. Yeah, that right there would probably be the most important class. Just getting around, you know, like
Or even break that into a couple different factors, life lessons on the physical standpoint of, like, I guess, a CPR. I don't think it'd be that insane to just teach everyone, like, CPR.
they
And
did
then
that
you
in
have-
high school for me.
Really?
In gym
Oh,
class.
That's good. And then, yeah, life lessons in finances. Some people need life lessons in social aspects, too.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like people have been saying that forever. Like, how long have you heard of, wouldn't it be nice if we learned how to, like, do our taxes in school or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, people have been saying that for, like, 20
Or
years.
also just like save money on taxes.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
suppose the government typically owns
That's
schools.
true,
So
yeah.
why would they
That is very true.
like how to form an LLC and like all these like things that
And-
actually
Yeah, that's
like
true.
is
Like,
what the wealthy people do.
Yeah, but then you're kind of building like business owners, and I don't know if the world is better having more business owners.
Well, the government wouldn't say so.
Yeah, exactly.
They want workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want sheep.
In the eyes of like a functioning society.
Yeah. No, 100%. You need everyone. You need a little bit of everything.
The only useful thing I learned in college was how to use Excel. Pretty damn good at Excel.
That is
you are.
actually
You're
very
really good at that,
hard.
and I'm so bad at that.
Yeah.
But I got
You could
you
probably-
for that. You to help me out.
You could probably teach yourself on YouTube though, in probably like
for
a
sure.
day.
Yeah, if you wanna
realistically,
learn a
probably
specific
even
thing.
less than a day. Yeah, you probably teach whatever you need to do. You could probably learn in probably an hour on YouTube.
Yeah,
But
100%.
Our friend Steve Hamilton, owner of Custom Offsets, we went to Florida with him last month. He, when we were lining up everything for Florida, he goes, "What's your email? I'm gonna send you over a spreadsheet."
Yeah,
Really?
He literally
Yeah.
sent me a spreadsheet of like every single detail down to like every 5 minutes of where we were gonna be and like who was doing what and like everyone's room numbers. But like
yeah.
obviously
He
he's a
was
super, super successful
Yeah.
dude, and he was like, "Oh, I use Excel for everything."
I'm pretty sure he was telling me he was like teaching his kids like how to use it
Makes sense.
really well. And yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It is very useful.
I was scrolling through TikTok, and the mayor of Anchorage, Alaska, said that it's cheaper to offer homeless people flights to Los Angeles. She said it costs $100 a day to house a homeless person, and it's like $236 for a one-way ticket to Los Angeles.
Send them all to LA.
Said send them to
Oh
LA,
my.
give them a summer warm.
Shitty California.
Anchorage, Alaska says he is solving his city's homeless crisis by giving them a one-way plane ticket to Los Angeles.
They're going to have a choice to stay warm this winter, and that's the choice that we're giving them. And I think a ticket this morning to Los Angeles is about $286. It costs us $100 plus or minus a few dollars every day to house someone, and we don't have a place to put them, a large shelter this winter.
Dude, imagine you're a homeless guy and a cop comes up to you and you think you're getting arrested and he goes, "Hey, you want to go to California?"
Hey, you're going to Cali. Yeah.
That would be, I mean, I feel like it'd be sick. As
if I was
opposed
homeless, that's where I'd go.
to, yeah, I'd go somewhere warm.
Yeah,
I think
By the
that's
beach.
I think
Dude,
that's how they all think too.
It reminds me of that episode of South Park when Cartman ships all the homeless to California.
Yep.
And he like goes through and he's like,
California.
California, super cool to the homeless.
Dude,
Lots of rich people giving change to the homeless.
that song lived rent free in all of our
Same,
heads for a
bro.
long time.
I still have it in there.
Yeah.
Once you say that, now it's just playing.
Yep.
South Park's a legendary show, man.
Dude, it is. I just saw a clip of when they have to save the town and they need like $100,000 and they raise 10,000. They go, "We don't have enough, but we're going to put it all on one number at the casino and we win 350 grand." And then it hits. And then they go, "Wait, if we do it again, we'll have 12 million." And they're like, "Let it ride." and the kids are like, "What the hell?" And then they obviously lose.
Lose it. It is truly just the pinnacle of like memeing current events and everything in
I
life.
feel like
Dude,
I learned a lot through
Yeah,
South Park.
absolutely.
Like I grew
I
up
would
watching
agree.
it probably from the 4th grade.
I feel like you have some of your character traits from that show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
people that
like my
didn't
humor, my sense
Yeah,
of humor.
exactly.
people that didn't grow up watching South Park, I think it shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Evan didn't watch South Park.
that's actually surprising.
It's
mean,
too mainstream for him.
well. Even when we were in Disney World with the CEO of Bugatti,
Yeah.
Mate, he spoke like really good English, and he's from Croatia. And we're like, "Oh, how'd you learn English?" And he was like, honestly, watching South Park."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and you could tell though, because that was like his humor.
He
Yeah.
loved
Like
it, dude.
everything that we would like say that was like pretty like
Edgy.
edgy. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
edgy
Chuckle
that
out
like
of him,
most
yeah.
most people that were like straight laced would be like, "What the fuck's wrong with these guys?" But he would start laughing, and then he would say something back and be like, "Oh man, we both
for-
degenerates. This is cool."
We formed a little bond with him over that. We started talking like episodes or like just like funny little moments, funny things, and like quoting lines, and then yeah, it really broke the barrier down.
I feel like most people, all like humor like that. That's why it's such a popular show and it's been going forever.
Some people are just afraid because they're too PC, like
yeah, they
you
don't
know.
want it to come out.
Especially nowadays, dude. That show was savage back in the day, and that was just on
TV.
cable television. Anyone could watch it. You just flip to the channel, and they were straight up doing disses at everyone. I remember they were gonna show some like Muhammad, some important terrorist figure from Iran or somewhere. It was like Muhammad or something, and they were gonna put him in the episode. And then like that terrorist group responded and said something like they were going to attack if they did that because it's some kind of profit that you're not supposed to show and no one's supposed to see, and they were gonna make fun of them. And then like the government was like please don't do this, and they like ended up putting him in like a bear costume for the episode. Like they still treaded the line. Like how savage.
Can you imagine? You know those two hung up the phone and high-fived people. We just got a call from the U.S. government telling us that their terrorist group wants to attack because of us.
Well, how about the movie The Interview?
I was thinking about that. I can't believe that went.
What ended up happening with that?
Well, basically, they was going to go to theaters, and then
did it go to theaters?
and then it never did.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah,
It was like super limited release, and then like I think that was like right when like Sony movie studios like servers got hacked. It was a bunch of random.
Oh, yeah. There was a
stuff.
bunch of weird stuff that happened.
And then I think shortly after, let's say a couple months, they just were like, you know what, we're just going to soft release this on our streaming platforms. I forget where it first started.
CJ, are you talking about Saddam Hussein?
So basically it was the 200th episode, and I guess it's now banned. Like it's just not, you can't find it.
Really? Wow, that's actually legendary.
Yeah, they received death threats from extremist Muslims. Yeah, it was a bad deal, and then they put him in a bear costume.
I love how they still did it, though.
Yeah, they just don't give a fuck, which, I mean, it's tough. I'm sure it's a lot harder to make an episode of South Park nowadays.
Well, yeah, but they can also just look at what's happening in society on like a daily norm.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just...
Life imitates art, or art imitates life. Like in their instance, they're probably just like, man, this is getting
It's too
easier and
easy."
easier.
yeah.
It's almost like not as funny because it's like, holy, like this is too true now. You know, it's just like, Jesus.
And they kind of did go where it's more like factual, or not factual, but it's always with current events. When
Yeah.
it used to just be like random stuff. which I
Yeah,
thought
it'd
was
be
more
like
fun.
not necessarily as current, but it would be maybe
Yeah.
involving something
Yep.
that obviously has gone on, but not super. Yeah, I
to
agree.
the times.
They make an episode in a week,
That's so
they're just like us.
crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy.
which is pretty cool. You should watch that. They have like a thing on Hulu, I believe, and it's like the making of South Park, and it's like a 48-minute documentary, and it follows them, and it shows like them going from the week and like making an episode.
Oh, that's sick.
Except they only have to make like 12 episodes a year, and we make 50.
True.
I can't believe they can do that with TV and put it out fast. It seems to me that you would need it like a week in advance, you know?
I mean, when you're them, I guess you just run it right to them. They literally run it right to the network, and they put it on.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that you just like put in a disc.
Back in the day, we had super bad Wi-Fi here, and we would have to drive to like our friend's house or
Mansion.
super big house, the mansion.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they had like the best Wi-Fi.
In the area.
To
Yeah.
upload our videos.
I had the password to it. I'm not gonna say who gave it to me, but so I would go and like sit outside this like the mansion on Pelican Lake that you'll see sometimes in the background of our videos, and I'd upload the video and then drive back.
Would you be able to get inside the gate? Like you get up by the house?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd be like up in there. I wouldn't be in the house. He never even knew I was there doing it. But yeah, we'll sometimes be like parked out front, and we'll have some people that, you know, just like new group of people or whoever out, and that's where everyone sits at the sandbar, and they'll be like, just can't believe this house. And I'll be like, yeah, for like a year, uploaded YouTube videos off his Wi-Fi actually. And everyone's like, what? So weird.
It is a good fun fact. It was like part of the routine. So, you know, now the routine obviously is like Ben export to CJ export to Ben, and we upload it. You write your description, you get your thumbnail. But before it was like, all right, who's got the car ready,
Warmed up.
yeah. And
I'd be like driving there while it was exporting.
I always remember that CJ in his car. Like, I mean, you did it in your Subaru, or had you totaled it then? I just remember
Evo.
Oh yeah, in the Evo, but you're still driving a manual. He's got his laptop and he's like cruising over there, and it's exporting as he's driving.
Someone get the car ready. Get
Yeah,
the car
I mean,
ready.
I just remember it's part of the upload schedule.
It's always
Like
a
cruising
rush,
over there.
man, to get that thing done and up.
Yeah, it
Which
is.
hopefully the viewers appreciate, because it's a grind every time. Never really seems to get any easier.
Never does.
You think it would though, eventually, but it never
I
does.
swear, it's just getting
It
harder.
might get harder.
I
Yeah, I
think-
feel like
Pretty
it's
sure it's getting
only
harder.
literally getting harder.
Yeah.
I think it is, like, speaking like for you guys, because you're just so prideful in what you're creating week in and week out. I see it. You're like stressed because you want it to be the best it can be, and that's never changed. So I think since the other content we've been filming has better and better.
It's like we got
you wanna-
3, 4, 5 cameras, and I'm sifting through that.
Yeah, more camera angles, more audio, more GoPro, more thicker ideas, everything.
There's definitely more weight to it. Yeah.
You guys are just perfectionists with it. You know, when you do it, you're like, I want it to be the absolute best it can be, which is good. I think it's a good thing.
Yep, and also the fact that it is done week in and week out. It's got to be the most mentally stressful part of the whole business, and it's not something that Ryan. Well, you deal with it too with the podcast, but
yeah, on a miniature level.
Yeah.
You guys ever, like when you go to a car meet, the guy will have like his 1982 Chevelle there, and it's got like 1,000 no touching stickers all over the car. And I feel like it's etiquette at a car show. You walk around with your hands behind your back, you make the little ducktail, you don't touch the car.
Yeah.
But some people are such psychos about if you like were to touch their car, like the fingerprint, like the paint.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make any sense to me because they literally drive it down the road, or like it got
you're getting hit by bugs or rain. I suppose they probably don't drive in the rain. But like, there's always something that, like little rock.
If you're saying that,
rocks.
The car better look flawless, perfect. 10
I feel
out of
like
10.
if it's a $1 million car or like something really rare, I can get behind it. But if it's just like a 2018 Camaro SS, I'm like, bro. Which
just
also
fucking drive the thing.
Keep it, just drive the thing. But also, you can't. It's his pride and joy. Wants to keep it nice. I get it.
Yeah, I think there's certain people like that though. But when we go to SEMA, we see the craziest cars. Like you see so many crazy cars. By the end of it, you're seeing like $1 million cars, and they don't even look
custom.
You can't even appreciate it. And I feel like those people really don't care.
They understand it is what it is, and the paint's going to be fine because they put 7,000 clear coat layers on it.
Yeah. So it's
there's different types.
Different types. Me and CJ's grandpa growing up, dude, like the biggest car guy we knew. It's probably where we got a lot of our love for cars and respect for cars. But like, dude, he would go out and buy like a new Mercedes, or he always had Corvettes when we were growing up. And it would just park them underneath trees out in his yard.
Not even in the garage.
Not even in the garage. Truly would not like care about him in that aspect. Cats would be walking all over him and stuff.
He's hopped in it and drove it, which I think
drove
is
it down gravel to get to his house.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like there is different extremes. I'm picky. Like I try to not scratch my car or my truck when I can.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not take it through the touch car wash every week, or not when I'm going out on the track. Try to stay away from like the big branches, right? But I'm also kind of realizing like it's a truck, you got to use it, whatever. But today, Alondra and I were at McDonald's, and the lady came out. And we had 3 drinks, we had burgers, we had a bunch of shit, right? And so the lady, when she's only got 2 hands, is holding the bucket and presses the bucket up against the truck, reaches over and starts grabbing out. So when the drinks come out, the bucket goes, whoosh, down, up, and then she moves it down again. It was just like this, was just push up and down. And I was like, ooh, and I just got my food, was quiet and left, but I just was like, man, I was going to tell you guys, I'd be like, don't do fucking curbside service because that would be
That's
good.
painful. I actually had a very similar experience at Caribou. So they have the little card thing where you put it in on the stick. Well, this one day, I don't know what, it was a guy instead of the cute girl that normally hands it to me. And
already I feel bad.
Yeah,
start.
exactly. I'm in my GTR. He swings the fucking stick around and just smacks it into the side of my car. Side of the GTR.
Tough.
I'm not even kidding you.
What?
And, yeah, he not like purposely, obviously, and I shouldn't say smack, but he like knocked it in the side of my paint. And I was kind of just like I legit like looked at him and I went like this. I didn't say anything. I was just like expecting him to be like, oh fuck, like sorry. Like, oh my bad. But he didn't say anything. He just was like, then he goes, yeah, if you want to leave a tip. I hit 0, bro. I hit 0. I was like, got out of there. But
I'm sure for some people that don't know, it just is, it looks like a clean black car. I mean, obviously it's sporty and whatnot, but
it was a metal thing. He hit it in there.
No, I mean, yeah, he dumped, but like he probably doesn't think anything of a car.
No, I get it. Yeah, it was an accident. I'm sure he didn't mean to, but yeah, it was interesting.
But yeah, still it happens. You're like,
I was expecting like, oh, dang, sorry.
Yeah.
Some of these places are getting out of line asking for tips.
I agree.
I
It is
lo-
bullshit.
I
Like-
love now.
Like they are just straight up doing their job
Yeah.
and they're asking for a tip
I agree.
when it's not really a service-based business. Obviously if if they're like serving you or doing something for you,
They're bringing like your
It
drink
makes
to the
sense.
table and they're
the food industry is one thing, but like when we were at the golf course, I was just paying for our golf round.
And there was a tip option.
And there was
there?
a tip option, and I tipped her, and I tipped her really well, knowing what we were about to do to that course. On that course, and we didn't do anything to the course. I think she was so caught off guard that I actually tipped her though,
Yeah, I'm
because
sure most people would say no.
well, yeah, because it's just like a
No
girl
point.
sitting there,
Basically
just
just
like
giving them
ringing
money.
you up
Yeah.
For nothing.
for your round. I just started to think like, man, there's so many times that people just expect you to tip when they're just doing their job.
I think
and when I worked in that, and when I worked at the Cormorant store and like scooped ice cream,
Yeah,
man,
you ain't
it would
no-
make my day if somebody gave me $1 or
Yeah.
something like that. And when you're actually like doing things, but you don't have like a tip jar or like asking them. So what's the tip?
I think that makes a little bit difference when you just got a little tip jar sitting there and it's a kid
option.
scooping ice cream, and it could have been any kid that was working the store. And, you know, obviously that's a little bit harder because the ice cream's all frozen. But, dude, I think the public is actually starting to get sick of
I would agree. I
those,
think
because I've
it's
seen some
changed.
things like said about it, you know, little memes and stuff
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
for
Discover
sure.
page on
There's some
Instagram and
funny
all that.
shit about
like,
that.
it is getting so out of hand. It makes me think of my old job before we were doing this full time, working at the gym. You check someone in for the gym, and then you turn around to think, tip. Like,
Yeah.
I checked you in. Yeah, you're doing your job. That's your employer to pay you for, not me.
That's the problem. I think
I'm already paying for it.
is they don't, you know, if it's a tip based job, you don't get paid more because you get less than minimum wage or you get minimum wage, but tips is a part of your compensation. There's a restaurant
I
in Florida.
But those
that.
aren't
I
tip-based
get
jobs,
that.
is what we're saying.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be, but maybe they are
I don't
because
think so.
well, I mean, we don't know what definitely not the golf course, but we maybe don't know what the person gets paid at fucking Tutti Frutti when you serve your own food and she just weighs it and checks you out. You don't know. She might get fucking $7 an hour and then is hoping for that dollar tip to make it.
Yeah, I
know?
think it's just like when you're buying something, like when you're buying some clothes.
Yeah.
You're
that's
checking out
that's
at
a
the
no
register.
tipper situation.
The fuck am I tipping you
No, I just
for?
it's just the classic. It's always an iPad, usually an iPad, and it's that spin around. And then
iPad mini.
But my favorite line is when now it's almost a universal thing. They'll go, and then it'll ask you if you want to. I'm serious. Like
They'll look away.
At the
Hey,
coffee
they can-
shop again. I know it's a service based, but yeah, they turn around and then it'll ask you if you want to. And then they'll just like look away. They don't say the word tip. I'm just like, it'll ask me if I want to. Oh, okay.
There's a restaurant in Florida that does no tips. When you walk in the door, it says like we pay our employees fair.
Yeah.
You don't have to tip.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, the food's a little more
I like
expensive.
that.
That's how they
But-
do that in Europe, I
Really?
believe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't-
Tipping isn't a thing over there.
Yeah.
Think
I
it's just
actually
an
think
American
I'd prefer that. But
Yeah, I
then
mean, you're
again,
just-
I guess you don't necessarily have them working as hard for their service. But then you go back to the point of these people are just ringing you up. They're not really doing anything other than the bare minimum.
Yeah,
Not
it
waiting on
depends
you.
on what it is, of course. It depends
Yeah.
on which service and
But
stuff
yeah,
like
I think
that.
tips
Dude.
definitely fuel it.
If I was working for tips, and I said this to Greta the other day, I said, I don't wish that I worked in like the restaurant business, being that because I like started
would suck.
young, but like I wish I could, like I guess, know how it feels to be like working at such a busy restaurant or a busy bar and like running around and then I'd probably appreciate it a little bit more while I'm at that bar,
Looks hard
knowing
as
that
shit.
it does look hard as shit. But I wonder how hard I would work to get.
You'd be the coolest motherfucker.
Yeah, to get people
Milking
to
it.
tip me. Yeah, because I'd just be like, well, I'm like I'm mostly getting paid off of my tips. So I'm gonna, if I'm here,
schmooze.
I'm gonna be schmoozing the
Yeah,
shit out of them.
exactly.
I'm gonna be patting this guy,
Brown-nosing.
the dad on the back. Oh, I love your shoes to the mom. You know.
Yep, I agree. Or if you were a girl, you'd just be like really wearing some nice outfit.
Just be
That
hot.
makes that makes a huge difference,
Yeah,
especially
'cause-
with the older.
I remember when I like
Yeah,
when
the
I
older guys around here.
Yeah,
bartended for a stint, I was like, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to get more tips. And then it got like busy and like I was just trying to get through people, and then I'm like, that didn't work at all. I think it's much easier to do if you're female, but yeah, like I was just doing my job as best I could, smile on my face,
just
being
flirting
really nice.
with an old man.
I didn't really. It didn't
I think
really. I
Zorba's
didn't
is
come
hard
home
because they're coming up and they're ordering. So
Yeah.
it's like
It's true.
there's this guy. His Instagram username is Subway, and actually, funny enough, the reason that I have him accepted in my thing is because he won a giveaway we did in like 2016, and I have a screen recording of it, and I'll throw it up. But for you guys, he has liked and screenshotted every single video within an hour of it coming out since 2017. I got to go back and figure out the first one, but he is there instantly. He's like my notification that the video's out.
Wow.
That's crazy.
You gotta send him some
That is
merch.
cool.
That's I was saying. I was like, dude, I like sent up a message. I was like, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you like watching every week and like being on it and like doing
So he
this.
posts it.
No, he just DMs it to me.
Oh wow. To
It's
make
just-
sure that
It's just kind of like our thing.
he's
He
like, I
knows.
don't watch it, but I just
Like-
see it's live.
Look at all these, dude.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. That's sick. I love that.
Going all the way
Holy
back.
smokes! Oh, he's got the classic OG Xbox gamer tag profile pic.
But in
February
turn,
25th, 2019.
dang. But in turn of him doing that, he's essentially earned his way to
Get some
one,
free
be
merch.
talked about, two, free merch, and three, a direct relationship with you. I guess
Absolutely.
via DM.
Yeah, you earned
So
that.
he
it's
earned
cool.
it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sometimes I get messages from people that I've responded and put them in like my primary versus general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've just like responded to them because they're like on the top of my message notifications, and I've gotten like a couple that like after responding a couple times, like, "Yo, can I use your Lamborghini for prom?" like things like that. I'm like, look, man, we ain't that good of friends.
I would say I probably read every DM that comes in. You know, you go through the requests and stuff like that. You just, one day when you're bored, you just take a scroll through it. So I always see them, don't always respond. But Snapchat has the best. Like, you actually want
So good.
us to see something, Snapchat is the best way to do it. Respond to a story because it just like shows up. Noah, the Make-A-Wish kid, was asking about that. He was like, what does it look like for you on the creator side?
Yeah, it was interesting.
And because he'd commented on my story and like he didn't say anything about coming, anything like that. He just, I want to put up the video of you two fighting and took the audio off. And I went, what do you think these two are arguing about? You weren't actually fighting, but
I
that
love
was his guess.
preface, dude.
That's
CJ
the
and Ben were
funniest fucking
downstairs
thing.
filming an ad, and like Ryan and I are in our offices, and all of a sudden you guys are screaming at each other. And it's mostly just CJ yelling at Ben, and we
Ben
found
laughing.
Yeah, we found out that it was because Ben has the ESPN app on his phone, and he goes do 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 do.
Yeah, it just ruins the cut.
CJ's like, bro, for one, just turn the audio off in general. But why do you even have ESPN on your
You don't
phone?
even watch sports. You don't even watch sports. Let alone you're getting a notification about women's soccer.
And Ben's like, it went off once, bro. You're like, I don't care.
It
No, it
goes off
happens
a lot.
I
dude.
was
It's such a
being
distinct
like
noise.
sarcastically,
Of course, yeah,
you
you
know,
guys
it
were,
wasn't
like,
like actually
riffing.
mad, but it was
No, it
funny
was a
because
tough-
it
it was a
always
tough look.
It always does at the worst time. Like it's like, nice, that was a good take. Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. God damn it, we gotta do it again.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we would. You can barely hear it in the background.
So I thought it's funny that I found out through that argument that it was the ESPN app, and of course it makes that sound. It kind of makes sense, but I thought here Ben went and set his text sound to that sound, and then had the
guy loves the
audacity.
NFL.
Yeah, then had the audacity to turn your sound on, and I'm like, bro, get over yourself. And then again, I was like, do you even like sports?
Over yourself.
No, he's getting notifications about like anything, baseball, lacrosse.
I think you can like edit them if you're like, oh, I really like the Timberwolves. I only want
No,
those.
this guy ain't even reading them. He
No,
just gets it, and then he just doesn't even. He just.
It's just an app on your phone.
No, it's just an app on my phone that I'm too lazy to turn the notifications off.
He's too lazy to delete it. That's the
When's the
problem.
last time you logged into the ESPN app?
It's not the ESPN app. It's the Fox.
Oh yeah,
It's the Fox app.
Oh,
and
that
the
you-
reason I have the app is because of watching football when we don't have it on the TV here.
Dang, you're about almost to football season.
I know. So that's why I'm like, I'm so close. I've just dealt with it for the last 9 months.
I hear it at least once or twice a day.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Once or twice a day.
Like,
And I
it's
just
like
like
nails on the
finally I
chalkboard.
just said, why do you even have that? Because you're not a sports enthusiast.
I know it does make no sense. Yeah, we did a Make-A-Wish last Friday, and it was so cool.
It's so fun.
It was so cool. Noah was the kid's name, the nicest kid, 13 years old. and his whole family came. But yeah, Make-A-Wish reached out and was like, hey, Noah's a big fan. You guys helped him a lot while he was in treatment and everything like that, and he would love to meet you guys, which is like the biggest honor because he could have asked for anything.
Literally gone anywhere, done anything,
met anyone.
Yeah.
And like that was like one of like the coolest things.
And he was such a cool kid too. It was actually really fun being around. You know, you never really know.
Yep.
But
he was a cool kid.
Yeah, it was fun.
Wasn't awkward.
Easy to hang, man. He was
coordinated.
He was cool.
You know,
whole family was great.
on the dirt bike, did so well.
Yeah,
Never surfed in his life before. Throws the rope like 5th try. It was just
He
too
was
fun.
surfing it. Yeah.
Bro, when you guys were on the
was talented.
track, we started riding, and like the whole, you know how it is when everybody's watching. The mom is there. He hops on his new pit bike, and freaking Evan and Ben and Micah are like top of second, tapped, just busting around the course, and he's like, you know, I mean,
Trying to keep
fresh
up.
on the bike, trying to keep up. I was like, slow down, just like top of first maybe, or middle second. You know, like we don't need to kill the kid first jump.
I was trying to keep up with him.
He was jump. Yeah, he was a ripper.
He was
actually
ripping.
good. He was good in the woods.
I didn't want to look like a pussy out there either. Ryan.
Can't.
He was ripping. You kept going like this, and I'm like, I was like, bro, I'm just trying to keep up.
I went like
Slow
this.
down. You're supposed to tell me to speed up. What kind of pit crew is this?
Yeah, I end up slowing down on like one of the corners, and Evan comes up and goes, "The fuck was that all about?"
Yeah, it was, what
I
the
said,
fuck's
yeah,
Ryan
I
icing us? I
go,
was
Ryan
like,
just threw a yellow flag on us. What was that about?
That's what it was. I was like, I don't know. I didn't want to bring the kid home with any scrapes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, the parents
Especially
were
in front of his
watching, and the Make-A-Wish lady was watching.
Yeah, I don't think generally they put motorsports into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you guys were ripping in the Lambo, she said, what happens on a Make-A-Wish stays on a Make-A-Wish.
And now it doesn't.
And now it doesn't. And we talked about it on our podcast, and it will be in the YouTube video.
Yeah. It's all right. It's
Too
an
hot.
honor.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah, it was.
It sounds good. Circling back to what Ryan said, follow us on Snapchat. We post
yeah.
we post all of our lives like individually now. We try to post on CBoys as well, but we're pretty active on there. So if you want to see what we're doing or respond to us, we'll try to at least read it. And thank you for listening to the Life Wide Open podcast. Like, subscribe, comment if you haven't.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next week.